So that video is a little bit adjacent to the freelancer versus employee video that I posted before. And this concept of people thinking that employment is more secure than being an entrepreneur or freelancer, it can be actually generalized to the principle that the crowds are often wrong. Same as with that everyone tries to buy an apartment or a house, and that is considered the right way to save for retirement. Although there are much better instruments out there that will make you more money over 20 to 30 years for sure, which is the stock market. However, still most people think that being employed and buying an apartment or a house is something that should be aspired right next to buying a new car every couple of years. So these popular beliefs, they have some truth in it, but they should be considered with a contrarian viewpoint. And this is what I mean by this generalized concept, that actually you take something that everybody thinks is correct and you really drill down and try to find out if it is really correct. And you base your analysis not on popular belief and what everybody says, but on basic principles. And in physics, this is called axioms, or in mathematics, I think it's called axioms as well. So you take unchanging truths. For instance, financial stability means that you make more than you spend. that is somehow a basic truth. Or profit means revenue minus costs, and you base or like an apple falls downwards, it doesn't go up if it breaks from a tree. So basic principles like gravity, mathematics, they can be used to assess if popular beliefs are true. And sometimes you will arrive at a contrarian viewpoint. For instance, that being a freelancer is not always more risky than being employed. That buying a house is not always more secure than buying into the stock market. I'm asking myself at this point, which other truths that I'm living by and believe are true are actually false? And making this leap of doing the proper analysis based on axioms and finding out the real truth, that is very, very challenging, but also extremely interesting. So just stay critical and try to assess all the factors that play into a belief that you hold, and maybe you will arrive at a contrarian viewpoint for some of the things you do. And if you follow the contrarian viewpoint, you'll be much better off than following the wisdom of the crowd and what everybody else thinks. So one perfect example would be buying real estate in Switzerland. People living here think, like all middle class, good citizens all over the world, that buying a house and an apartment is a proper way to save for retirement, whereas stocks are too risky. So in the US, where you have areas or cities where you make $50,000 a year and the house costs $60,000, that is a correct way to think. This is a good way to save for retirement, to not burn money on rent. However, in Switzerland, people make between 60 and 120,000 francs, which is in dollars, just like the same numbers, but a fucked up apartment somewhere on the edge of the city costs 600,000 Swiss francs. A house on the countryside costs similarly. So the wages are approximately similar to some areas in the US, but houses are 10 times more expensive to buy. And rents are actually very low compared to the buying prices. So if you pay rent and put the rest of your savings in the stock market, after 30 years, you will be way better off financially. And this is one of the axiom-based calculations that you can do to find out if popular belief is actually correct or not. If something is thought by the masses, like this is how we do things, or this is how it is done, and you don't have done the axiom-based calculation, this is a good sign to do it. This is, if I hear people always did it like this, or people do it like this, I always have alarm bells in my head that if I want to find out the truth, I have to make a proper data-driven calculation to find out if it's true or not. Thanks so much for listening. Visit CoderFit or the websites below in the comments, and have a good day.